Good morning, everyone. Welcome to our Friday morning coffee chat. Got my coffee. I do not have a donut this morning. As soon as we're live and in person on the patio, we'll have bagels and cream cheese, coffee and cocoa, apple juice, maybe grapes and cantaloupe for you weird people who like to keep healthy. For me, I want my bagel, cream cheese, and my coffee. All right, Miss Chelsea, I have a couple of things I want to go over first, really, not quickly, but I have some announcements to make I want to do.
Okay.
And then we will hear the good news from you, right?
Yes.
Whoops. How do I get to my share screen? 1 second. Share screen. Sorry, guys. Still trying. Okay. Do you see?
Yep.
Did it come up the whole page? Or are you seeing the side notes?
I came up the whole page.
Nice. All right. Welcome. Well, everybody. So I want to just first of all go through what's coming up in the next month. On our calendar. I think that's important to keep every Friday everybody aware of what's coming up. So number one thing is February 7th, everyone, is progress reports go home. That's paper. I think also you can get your progress report from Tyler Sis from the parent portal. It should always be updated as it goes along. I know we've had a difficult time with posting grades because we're not really a grade school. I mean, we do more standards based. And in a couple of weeks, I'm going to have Victoria Garrison on and help us all to understand what does standards based grading mean. So anyway, February 7th, watch in your backpacks of all your kids because the progress reports are going to go home. Then on February 9th through 11th is our third quarter parent and teacher conferences. Because of the pandemic, because of where we are still, the parent-teacher conferences will be by Zoom link. And I'm sure your teachers, however they've done it in the past, will send home a sign-up genius or some way for you to sign up for that. Now, I want to explain that I explained with the teachers also is February's parent-teacher conferences, it's primarily for a progress check. We want to know because now we have half a year of data. We have our August, the fall, the summer data from the MAP test, and now we have our winter data from the MAP test, and we can see clearly from that, are the scholars growing or not? And so it's going to be a candid conversation with everyone. Teachers will need to notify all the parents if their scholars are at risk of retention. There's some reasons why a scholar would be retained in that grade. One of them is attendance. If we go below a certain number of attending days, then we're required to look at that and retain the scholar. Because if the scholar didn't attend, they need to redo the year. We'll also look at MAP scores, reading and math and language usage. We're going to look at classroom work and just see, is this scholar making the progress they need to successfully go to the next grade level? For us at Paideia, retention it's not a punishment. It's a kindness. Because if the scholar is falling behind, we want to have them do a redo of third grade, second grade, first grade, whatever grade. Now, the earlier we can catch a redo, the better it is for the scholar. And we've done this many times where the scholar, the parent, we all get together and say, let's just do a redo in first or second grade. And man, that next year, the scholar is confident, they're making progress, and it just made a huge difference in their life. So we want to have that dialogue starting February, because if they're at risk, we need to make sure we're doing everything we can to get the scholar where they need to be. It's a great opportunity to communicate with your teacher. Now, when you communicate with our teachers, sometimes we're getting frustrated and Zoom isn't the best way, and our world right now is in crazy mode. be kind, be polite, and seek to understand, and we'll go forward. Now, February 10th and 11th, therefore, that's Thursday and Friday. Those are half days because of parent-teacher conferences. March 7th through 11th is our spring break. Hallelujah. I'm so happy about that. Then March 28th through April 1st, I want everybody aware. I hope the pandemic infection rates are down, because that's our nature week. And April 1st, that Friday, is our second annual tree planting. And we want as many of the community, as much community activity as we can get on and around our campus to help us celebrate trees, celebrate nature. And then April, alert, 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 is our state testing. We are required to do it, and we are judged by it, as well as your scholars. So April is state testing, so let's do it. Also, the last thing I want to talk about is that Paideia, this is our 10th year celebration. We started school August 3rd, 2012, or whatever that first Monday in August was, 2012. So we're coming up to our 10th year in business as a school. We've made such great progress. So we're going to have a bunch of celebrations. Also, I wanted to announce to you that there's some construction going to start happening next year on the baseline building. Another 11,000 square feet of building is going to be over there. State-of-the-art science labs, state-of-the-art workout facility, health and wellness, state-of-the-art art facility with a kiln and all the other gizmos and gadgets that we would want for a high-end school. So that's that. Stop the share, start the stare. Here we go. All right, Miss Chelsea, I'm sorry.
It's okay.
Give us some great news. Where are we in this about filtered cow thing?
So for right now, for this week, I want to start off with, I just spoke with Maricopa County and a vendor, Albertsons. They are going to help us host a vaccine event on February 26th, which is a Saturday. It'll be from 10 to 3. So that's the date they're giving me. That's the date we're going to do it. They're going to bring all the vaccines, Pfizer, Moderna, J&J, or Johnson & Johnson. And as well, we might be able to get the flu shots there. So as soon as I hear back from them, yeah, it'll be great. And boosters as well. They'll provide all their staff, and they will have separate tables for like pediatric vaccinations. And then they have the adults vaccines as well. We're planning on, I put out for 1,000 people to hopefully show up. I know that's reaching, but if anything, we'll most likely get around 300, 400 people to show up. I hope you guys are one of those ones to show up. We are also inviting the rest of the community out to have a good time and get these vaccines done.
Wow, 1,000. Our goal is 1,000 vaccinations.
1,000 vaccinations.
February 26th, 10 o'clock to 3 o'clock.
Yes, sir.
I'll make sure there's food, drink, school grounds legal drink, 10 o'clock to 3 o'clock. I am so excited. Thank you, Ms. Pullam, for taking care of that.
Of course.
What else? Where else are we?
All right. So, of course, I'm going to start off with this as well. If your scholar is sick, keep them home. We have still had lots of scholars coming in who are coughing and just not too well. I've had a lot of parents say that it's just their allergies, but Maricopa County is advising, even if you think it is allergies, go get them tested. If your scholar is also pending a COVID result, do not bring them back to school unless that result is given. And if you have a positive family member at home, we would like your scholar to stay home as well, unless they are fully vaccinated, have had COVID previously within the 90 days or the last 90 days. And yeah, we just want to keep the rest of our staff and our other scholars safe as best as we can.
So tell me this, every morning at 7 o'clock, from 7 to 7:30, either myself or Miss Smith or Mr. Madrid is checking kids at the gate. We're scanning, I'm looking, making sure that I don't see any snot and coughing and hacking. And then 7:30 to 7:55, we have a teacher out there doing that. How are we getting kids in who present with symptoms, do we need to do better screening? What do I need to do with that?
Sometimes, I mean, sometimes they're not coughing as soon as they get up to the gate, or with the mask being over the face, sometimes we're not able to see the snot. But then we do have scholars who come in kind of late, and they come through the front desk, and it just kind of happens. But I do get a lot of, well, I would say the majority of the ones that I'm getting as far as regarding COVID and testing, they're more so from them telling me themselves that somebody at home is sick, and they tested positive for COVID, or their brother or sister is sick, or they're ill and they tested, and parents didn't let us know. So it's just, it's a lot.
Okay, very good.
Yeah. But we're handling it. All right. Maricopa County, as regarding COVID testing, does not recommend that you continue to test after you have tested positive. What we're seeing is a lot of families are trying to wait till their scholar tests negative. The reason why you don't want to continue testing even after the 5 days is because you're most likely, like, you can test positive up to 90 days. And that's because you are not likely to be as contagious for that long. But you're unlikely to transmit the virus to others after that 5th day.
Oh, I see. So even up to 90 days, I might still have some of the virus in my system, which would cause me to test positive.
Test positive.
Really infectious to others.
Yep. Yes, sir.
Oh, wow. Okay.
So you don't have to go searching for tests and continuing to stick the little Q-tips up your scholar's nose. One is good.
Okay.
All right. There's a new rule for Maricopa County, and this is great for our school because we already have a mask requirement. So it says, if a mask requirement is in place, schools may continue to allow exposed, unvaccinated students to attend school, even if testing is not available, as long as students wear a mask in school, and they need to be snug-fitting mask around the face, which, again, we're doing a pretty great job at. And because of this, I know you guys can't see my screen, which I'm so sad because I had this already, but our positivity rate for this week for scholars is only 0.6%.
Oh,
which is amazing. 0.6%. And then for staff, we are only at 1.1%. So this is great news. I think we are finally hitting that point where we're not relaxing, but we can just take a breath for a second. And then the county.
I think that's telling about how diligent our community is at Paideia of wearing the masks and being cautious with the mitigation strategies that we do. Yeah,
definitely. It shows. So we'll definitely continue those. Again, lastly, I ask that if you can, please help your teachers out by providing them with a box of masks. They go quickly. Sometimes our scholars just happen to lose them. But I do know our teachers would really, really appreciate that. Yeah.
So do you know what I did, Chelsea?
What's that?
I think everybody's heard of that online shopping delivery system called Amazon.
Oh, yeah.
Okay, so what I did was I went and I created on our company's Amazon account. Is that what you call it?
Yeah.
Shopping place. I created our wish list. And so if you go to here, I'll put it here. How do I do this? Bam. There you go. So if you click on that link and Italy's going to blast that out to everyone, you click there, you can shop on our wish list of school supplies. And then you could actually click it, buy it. There's even a place where you could put a note, Miss Skozen's class or Miss Farley's class or Miss Kunat, wherever you want those masks to go. When you buy it, you can put a little note that'll go to that class. And so I put several different kinds of masks, all for kids, in there, and that's going to make it easy for our community to go ahead and buy it. It'll be delivered here. So there's no need to, have it delivered to your house and then have it, bring it in. It'll be delivered here. So, just trying to make it easy for us.
Okay, that's forward thinking right there. And I wanted to say this, just in case it happens for our vaccine event. There is a possibility that they are going to be having the vaccine lowered from 5 to 3. So we're still waiting on that confirmation, but I think that would be great, because we have seen that the vaccination is working. We just received kind of like some new numbers as far as when people go to urgent care, people go to some type of emergency department. The vaccination is keeping people who are getting sick. They're not really having much or many symptoms or harsh symptoms. And they're saying it's about 85% effective, which is great. And then for hospitals, people who are getting sick and they have been vaccinated, it's up to 90%. So I encourage, please come out to our vaccination event. We will be posting signs. We'll probably have it up on our little billboard we have outside, and keep you guys updated.
Yeah.
And that is all I have, Dr. Winsor.
All right. Anybody in the attendees, if you have questions, shoot them to me, type them, or raise your hand, and I'll call on you, and you could chat with Ms. Pullam, or I'm not sure what I'd have to say, but you can certainly ask me a question. While we're waiting for somebody to raise, or we have a couple of minutes, I also want to notify you some of the things that's going to happen next year. We are expanding to 10th grade next year, and then 11th the next year, and the 12th the next year. And so if you have 10th graders, bring them on over. Let's get them all done. It's also re-enrollment or continuing enrollment time. So make sure that when that form gets home, that you sign and say you're coming back next year. Otherwise, it's happened. The people are left on the waiting list because they didn't tell us they were coming back. The other thing I want to let us know is next year, assuming the pandemic has gone to a place where we can have in-person events, Mrs. Smith and I are planning a monthly event, a community learning event every Wednesday, first Wednesday of every month. We're going to gather, we'll have workshops, food, and we'll have a variety of different things to learn every week, like financial literacy, like the 7 habits, like mental health issues and topics. Our sanctuary with Mr. Chambers is going to be opened up to where people can go and do some gardening and harvesting and learning how to cook from your garden. So we're going to come back from this pandemic wild and strong and open our community back up. Next, I'm looking forward to next year big time.
I think that's pretty exciting, Dr. Winsor.
Yes, man. To be able to see people, hug people, eat with people, and just have these events.
Yeah, just community setting, everybody gathering with each other. That's huge. And I'm excited for our high schoolers. That's wow.
Do you know what else is happening right now, Chelsea?
What's that?
Almost every week, we get 2 or 3 more ninth graders back who left us last year to go to a bigger high school somewhere, South Mountain or Mountain Point or Cesar Chavez, and our kids are coming home. And we ask them, hey, what's going on? Well, we love you. We want you back. And they're just like, oh, I just had to come home because some of those high schools are too big. There's fights and there's anxiety. There's just crazy. And it's just, they're just telling us, hey, we're just coming home.
Yeah.
So I love that.
And you know what? You can tell when you walk over to the high school side too. It's just, the energy is incredible.
We call it weird and wonderful because they are weird. And it's so wonderful because they're just so open with each other and just so giggly and fun. And I love it. I love Miss Perez. She's a wonderful leader. All right. Well, thank you so much. I'll get this posted by the end of the century, hopefully the end of the day. And then next week, what I want to do next week, Ms. Pullam, is next week I want to chat a little bit about pro-social behavior and what are we doing to help increase kindness on our campus and decrease unkindness and especially bullying. And we have great programs I want to discuss next week. And I hope everybody's right here. All right. Have a good weekend.